Tennessee Titans. But this Tennessee Titans roster is very good. It has a nice balance of talent between the offense and defense. I'm looking forward to this team and really how well they should perform. So, of course, looking at their offense is still very good with Marcus Mariota quarterback, but it might raise some controversy, but I think Marcus Mariota so far has been one of the more underwhelming quarterbacks in the NFL so far. He has yet to really play a full season. I'm just not seeing a ton of what a number 2 overall pick really should perform. Maybe it's because my expectations are pretty high. I'm expecting him, throwing at least 25 touchdowns with, at max, 10 interceptions, probably averaging 4,000 yard seasons. But I really haven't gotten it, and it's more because, he misses a couple games, like ankle injuries, etc., etc. But I'm not entirely sold on Marcus Mariota being a good quarterback. I think he's a borderline good quarterback, but he's just been really underwhelming, in my opinion. I just think I'm expecting more, essentially. I'm expecting a lot more from a former number 2 overall pick. But hey, I think he's got, but adding Dion Lewis to your running back backfield should help a lot. He should complement well with Derrick Henry, who will now be the number 1 running back after they have let DeMarco Murray go. And I think Lewis will serve well, providing if he can stay healthy. You have a couple other backs, but I think it's mainly going to be the Dion Lewis and Derrick Henry show. The receiving backfield, once again, filled with a lot of young talent, just needs to explode. I thought Rashard Matthews was a very good wide receiver when he was promoted in Miami, and when he got to Tennessee, of course, not a lot of talent was there, so he had a great place to really bloom. And I think he's a very good complementary wide receiver. I think pairing him up with Davis will really help. And when you look at the rest of the depth, they got Deontay Burnett. They have a couple other players. Tajay Sharp, who I think might get cut this season. Tyrod Taylor. Just primarily a lot of slot receivers when looking at this. Just a lot of slot. Yeah, just a lot of slot receivers. A couple possession, but yeah, just primarily filled with slot receivers. It's decent in the tight end. You got Delaney Walker and Luke Stalker. Yeah, it's decent. It's decent. It's above average. It's not exactly gonna impress a lot of teams, but it's good. It's good for what you got. And then looking at their offensive line, of course, one of the best in the NFL. One of my favorite tackle combination, Jack Conklin and Taylor Lewan. I don't know why I said Tyler at first. Like I said, that's my favorite tackle combination that they got. I'm glad, both players turned out to be very well. Conklin seemed to do very well at right tackle, even though he played primarily left tackle at Michigan State. And Taylor Lewan has been nothing but a grand slam for the Tennessee offense. The guards are also pretty good. You got Quentin Spain and Josh Klein. Pretty sure I got those names correct. Yes, Quentin Spain and Josh Klein starting, and I think it's Ben Jones. Yeah, Ben Jones starting at center. To form perhaps what I think is one of the best offensive lines in the draft, if not the best. One of the best, if not the best. I know some people think it's Dallas and New Orleans or Philly. My money's on Tennessee. And overall, looking at that offense, I think it'll do very well. I think it'll improve. I just want to, but like I said, I'm expecting more from quarterback Marcus Mariota because he's been all but disappointing for me. He hasn't been, not disappointing, underwhelming. He hasn't been what I expected. I think he's doing slightly better than Winston. That's just because, Winston's throwing more picks each season except for 2017 because he missed, 4 games that year. And I'm expecting more. I'm hoping he takes a big step up, a big step, not necessarily in rushing because I think he still does well in that, but in passing, being a more confident passer, more dangerous passer. I want to see him. I want to see him at least crack the top 5 in one of the key quarterback positions, in one of the key quarterback stats. I'm hoping he can. I'm looking at passing touchdowns in my opinion. I think he can. I think he can crack that. And I hope this. I think this offense is going to go. Probably 11th. All right, now looking at this defense, they did try to get into Dominican Sue, but they have a good defensive group already. With DeQuan Jones and Drell Casey, they signed Benny Logan. They also have Austin Johnson. They do have a very talented defensive line. They're playing primarily 3-4 because they have the old Steelers defensive coordinator. His name escapes me for the moment. And it's still a very talented defense. You got a good defensive line. I think they can still improve in the run game. I won't be surprised if they rank top 5 in run defense. That's how confident I feel about that run offense. But not run defense. Then a linebacking core. It did get a major upgrade drafting Rasheed Evans. He'll probably play inside. I think it's still going to be Wesley Woodyard. Lining up with him might alternate with Jayon Brown if he ever gets a chance. They do have. I do love the draft pick of Rasheed Evans. I think he can be a very good impact. They also have Will Compton, but I don't think he might make the team. If he does, he'll be the 4th linebacker. Their edge rushers right now. They did draft Harold Landry, which good pick, Titans. Good pick. I really liked him. With Orakpo and Derek Morgan, who are unfortunately aging. They do have a couple other players. Kevin Dodd has not been a worthy pick so far. He's struggled big time. But hey, if Derek Morgan and Brian Orakpo can stay ageless, I think they'll be fine. I think Harold Landry might alternate between now and then. He might try and beat out Orakpo, or at least fill in for when Orakpo does get hurt. And then looking at defensive backfield, it's good. Their starting 3 corners are going to be Logan Ryan on one side, Malcolm Butler on the other, with last year's first-round pick, Adoree Jackson, probably manning the slot. And the safeties, of course, are going to be Kevin Byard and maybe Kendrick Lewis? Either Kendrick Lewis or Jonathan Cyprien. No idea if it's going to be more towards... And I'm talking about box safety. Kevin Byard, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. Byard, however you pronounce it, was a really stand-up performer for me. I think he was one of the top 5 in interceptions this season. I think, or if not the leading safety in interceptions, well, defensive back in general. But this is a good defense. I know who the defensive coordinator is. It's just that his name escapes me a bit. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in this stack of papers I got shuffling about right here. But this is still a very good defense. It'll be inside the top 15, maybe 11th, like the offense, and it is. This is the kind of thing that this is the kind of team that will get into the playoffs. But the real question is going to be, once they're in there, how are they going to perform? Because it's a nice group, because it's nicely cobbled together with just enough young star makers, with some veterans to not only start but also contribute, not just be there to help the young players, but also really contribute for this team. And I really like this team. I do. I think they're going to be, and looking at their schedule again, I do think they're going to be back in the playoffs next season. Even with the tough schedule, because of course playing against the AFC, not only playing against the Jaguars twice and then the Texans, but also playing the AFC East and the NFC East. But their schedule is pretty tough, I will admit. They have to play their first 4 games. 3 of them I have going to the playoffs. Texans, Jaguars, and Eagles. So that's going to be a toughie. And they kind of split every now and then. They start on the road and go home, road, home for the first 6. I believe their bye week is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Week 8. So that's a nice middle team. They do get a couple Monday night games, so I think they'll do pretty well. The game I'm really interested in is their game against the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. I think that will be a real crucial one to see which offensive line holds up the best. Um, they do have a couple easy, and of course after the bye week, it gets a little lighter. Outside the match between another match with the Jaguars and the Patriots, it does get a little levity. Perhaps I think they can make the playoffs again. It's just that like I said, it's a tough schedule. It's just having to play the Texans, the Jaguars twice, then playing the AFC East, well, the Patriots division, as well as having to face the NFC East with its rise in power. I think this team can do fairly well. I expect this team to go 10-6. I'm gonna say 10-6. It's a possible playoff team. I know with that record, they are most likely going to get back in it, but still, this is going to be pretty much trading blow for blow. I really like this team to go in, but say Marcus Mariota misses a few games or has a down year, then that's a 7-9 team. But I do think this is perhaps when completely healthy, 10-6. And probably making the playoffs. I don't see him winning the division, so you know who will. And I do like this team. Very well put together. Tough, but still fairly feasible schedule. And tomorrow we're gonna wrap up with the Jaguars, and then have my final predictions. And of course, record predictions could change between now and then. Till next time, catch y'all later.